Class, good morning. I will be discussing project management. The learning objectives of our topic is to describe project management objectives. Number 2, describe the project life cycle. Number 3, diagram and networks of project activities. So ito yung focus natin, itong paggawa ng diagramming using the AOA and the AON. Number 4 is to estimate the completion of the time of the project. So dito, gagamit tayo ng tinatawag nating PERT CPM or CPM PERT at i-identify natin yung tinatawag nating critical path. And number 4 is to compute the probability of the completing a project by a specific time. Okay? And then next is to determine how to reduce the length of the project effectively and to describe the critical chain o yung tinatawag nating critical path approach to the project management. Okay? So, the project management. So, what is a project? So, project is any unique endeavor with specific objectives. Okay? And of course, with multiple activities. So, normally, yung mga long run project, ang ina-apply natin yung tinatawag nating mga diagramming. And then next, we define precedent relationship. So, mapapag-aralan natin mamaya yan sa paggawa natin ng networking or diagramming na tinatawag. And with a specific time period for completion. So, for example, yung paggawa ng mga major event like wedding, so napakaraming mga precedent relationships or yung mga very complex ang pag-prepare ng ganyang type ng event. And of course, any construction project, especially yung mga building or any construction, kung anong klaseng construction project yan, long-term construction project. And of course, designing a political campaign. So lahat yan, kailangan natin yung diagramming or networking na tinatawag. Okay? Next, project life cycle. So first is yung tinatawag nating conception. So to identify the need. So kailan ma-identify natin ano yung mga need na resources, like for example, mga machines, personnel or manpower. So kailangan natin alamin muna yun sa isang project. Next is the feasibility analysis or study. So kailangan mag-cost benefit. So kailangan mag-exceed ang benefits dun sa cost natin. Kasali yan sa feasibility analysis natin. And of course, ano yung mga involved na risks. Okay? Next is planning. Very important to, itong planning na to. So, who? Ibig sabihin, sino yung mga involved? Sino yung mga kabilang sa planning na yan? Next is how long? So, gaano katagal yung isang project? Gaano katagal yung kanyang completion? And of course, what to do? Ano yung mga activities na kailangan natin gawin para magawa or ma-execute natin yung project na yan? And of course, tinatawag nating execution. So, doing the project. So, yan yung tinatawag nating dyan na natin isagawa yung isang project or i-execute yung isang project. And of course, kailangan din ito, termination, ending the project. So, kailan matatapos? Kailan mag-i-end yung ating project? Next, network planning techniques. So, itong CPM na to, actually magkaibang technique yan. Yun nga lang kasi sa ngayon, parang hinybrid na yan at pinaghalo na yan. Kasi ang pagkakaiba nila, class, is very few naman. Parang immaterial naman yung difference nila, which is mababasa mo dun sa module mo kung ano yung mga difference niya. Very few lang yan. And dito sa PERT kasi is normally yung mga to develop, manage the Polaris missile project. For example, sa mga other country kasi ginagamitan ng PERT yung mga missile project nila. Kasi matagal din ang proseso niyan or kung very complex ang activity about sa ganyang type ng project. And next, mainly task push the boundaries of science and engineering, that is task duration is equals to probabilistic. Sa CPM naman or the critical path method, so ito yun, develop, coordinate the maintenance project in the chemical industry. So normally dyan ginagamit itong CPM. A complex undertaking but individual tasks are routine. So task duration is equals to deterministic. Okay? Next, both PERT and CPM. Sa PERT and CPM, ito yung parehong ginagamit natin sa kahit ano pa diyan sa dalawa. That is graphically display the precedence, relationship, and sequence of activities. Plus yung tinatawag nating precedent relationship, yung tipong kung sa subject sana may tinatawag nating prerequisite na kung saan hindi mo ma-execute yung next step kung hindi mo muna magawa yung kanyang precedent activities or yung prerequisite activities niya. Okay? So, both PERT and CPM, kailangan natin yan sa pag-graph or paggawa ng networking or diagramming. Next, estimate the project duration. So, ma-estimate natin, makikita natin dun sa networking or diagramming yung project duration or kailan or ilang weeks, ilang month, or ilang years bago ma-complete yung project na yan. Okay? Next, identify the critical activities that cannot be delayed without delaying the project. So, ma-identify natin yung tinatawag nating critical path na kung saan, just in case na magkaroon ng delay dun sa critical path na yun, buong project ang madidelay. So, dapat walang walang aberya sa critical path na yun. Except kung meron tayong tinatawag na yung ibang path sana, may slack. So, mamaya i-explain natin what is slack. Then, okay lang kasi hindi madidelay yung project as a whole. Okay? And estimate the amount of slack associated with the non-critical activities. So, kung na-identify na natin yung tinatawag nating critical path, the rest, hindi na yun mga critical or non-critical activities na. Lalo na yung mga may slack period. Kumbaga, yung slack kasi is parang allowance time yun, na kung saan kahit pa ma-delay dun sa area na yun, hindi affected yung project as a whole. Okay? Next, so ito yung mga example ng network diagrams. Ang example lang dito is yung AON. Actually, dalawa yan. Doon sa module nyo, dalawa yan. AOA and AON. Yung AOA is activity on tawag dito, node itong isa, AON, and activity on arrow yung isa. Okay? So, and then sa activity on node or AON, use nodes to represent the activity. So, yung mga node dyan, yung mga bilog-bilog dyan, nire-represent niya yung mga activities natin. And the arrows is to represent the precedence relationship. So, ano yung mga precedence ng bawat isang activity? Ano yung unang mong gawin muna bago mo magawa yung sunod? Okay? For example, doon ka tayo sa letter A. Then next is B. B, precedent activity niya is si A. Si C naman, precedent activity niya is si B. So, activity A precedes activity B, which precedes activity C. So, ibig sabihin, hindi mo ma-execute si B na activity kung hindi mo muna magawa si A. Same with letter C. Hindi mo ma-start or magawa si C kung hindi mo muna magawa si B. So, kumbaga, yan yung series or connections ng bawat isang activity. May precedence or precedent activity ang bawat isa sa kanila. Okay? Sa B naman, kung ganito naman yung type ng diagram mo, A, then B, or A to C, so activity A must be completed before activities B and C can begin. Okay? So, si B and C, ibig sabihin yan, hindi mo pwedeng magawa yan or ma-start yan kung di mo muna magawa si A. Example sana class, kung sa construction ng building, ang pinakaunang step sa construction ng building is laying foundation Hindi mo naman na-start ang paggawa ng first story niya or first floor niya kung hindi pa nagawa ang foundation. Okay? So, for example, yung A is laying foundation. Si B, yan yung kung saan i-start natin yung first floor ng building. Okay? At the same time, maisabay mo na din yung activity C. For example, si C sana is selecting paint or acquiring or purchasing of materials. Pwede mo nang isabay dun sa paggawa ng first floor o pag-start ng first floor ng building. Okay? And then C, activities A and B must both be completed before activity C and D can begin. So, si C and D, ang precedent activity nila is si A and B. So, hindi mo magawa si C and D kung hindi mo muna makomplete si A and B. Okay? Sa D naman, kung ganito naman yung type ng network diagram mo, so, B and C, precedent nila si A. Okay? B, kailangan magawa mo muna si B and C bago mo ma-start ang activity D. Okay? So, activities B and C can begin once activity A has been completed. Okay? And activity D cannot begin until both B and C are completed. So, depende kung paano mo interpret yung isang project diagram through networking or diagramming. Okay? Next, okay, step 1. Ang first step na gagawin natin class is to define the project. So, paano mo i-define yung project? Ano? For example, Cable by Us is bringing a new product line to be manufactured in their current facility. In existing space, the owners have identified 11 activities and their precedence relationship develop an AON or activity on nodes for the project. So, for example, activity A, anong description? Develop product specification. So, yan yung base activity natin. Yan yung pinakaunang activity na dapat nating i-execute. Immediate predecessor, none. Kasi nga, base activity yan. Duration weeks. Duration in weeks is 4. Okay? So, yan yung kung gaano siya katagal i-execute. Next, activity B, design manufacturing process. Immediate predecessor, A. Kailangan muna daw, magawa muna natin si A bago natin masimulan si activity B. Okay? Next, duration in weeks or duration. Sa in weeks tayo is 6 weeks daw natin i-execute. Next, activity C, source and purchase materials. Immediate predecessor, A. So, connected siya kay A. Kailangan magawa muna natin si activity A. Duration weeks, 3 weeks. Okay? Same with D, source and purchase of tooling and equipment. Immediate predecessor, B. So, duration, 6 weeks. Okay? So, lahat ng yan, so, magsasagawa tayo ng tinatawag nating diagramming or networking. Okay? So, kung gagawa tayo ng diagramming or networking is, ito na. Okay, so ganyan yung magiging itsura under step 2. Diagram the network for Cable by Us. Okay, so ito yon si base activity A. Okay, hindi mo magagawa itong si B kung hindi mo muna matatapos si A. Okay, si C naman, hindi mo masisimulan si C kung di mo muna magawa si A. Same with D, hindi mo masimulan si D kung di mo muna magawa si B. So, yan yung interpretation nitong step 1. Okay? So, yan na, diagramming or networking. Ang kod natin, ganyan yung magiging itsura. Okay? Next, step 3. Add deterministic time estimation connected paths. So, ang gagawin natin ngayon, same lang yan dito. Sa step number 2, same lang yan dito. Yun nga lang kasi, idadagdag mo lang yung sa tabi niya, yung time or duration niya. No, di ba kanina, A, 4 weeks daw na ma-execute. B, 6 weeks. D, 6 weeks. C, 3 weeks. F, activity is 5 weeks. So, ganyan lang, itatabi lang natin. So, para ma-identify natin anong activity yan at ilan time or ilang weeks or duration natin siya ma-execute. So, ito yun, mga connected paths. For example, number 1, connected paths. Si A, B, D, E, G, H, J, K. So, ito yun. Start tayo kay A, B, D, E, G, H, J, K. Ito yun. Itong number 1 kwan natin, path natin. Next, number 2 path. Ito yun. A, B, D, E, G, I, J, K. So, ito yun. Path number 2. Okay? Next, path number 3. Start tayo kay A. So, ito. A, C, F, G, H, J, K. Ito yun. A, C, F, G, H, J, K. So, yan yun. Yung third path yan. Next, fourth path. A, C, F, G, I, J, K. So, ito yung fourth path natin. Okay? So, one muna yan para makita muna natin ano yung mga magkakakonect na path. So, ilang path? 4 lahat. Okay? Next. So, ito na. Step 3. Calculate the project completion time. Ang gawin lang natin dyan, class, in every path, for example, path number 1, i-add natin lahat ng mga duration or time na naka-allotted sa kanila. For example, si path number 1, A, 4, plus 6 weeks kay B, plus 6 weeks kay D, plus 14 weeks kay E, plus 2 weeks kay G, plus 2 weeks kay H, plus 4 weeks kay J, plus 2 weeks kay K. So, ang maging total niyan, ito, path number 1, ang total duration is 40. Pag pinag-add natin lahat ng allotted time sa kanya. Next, yung path number 2 naman, Ganun pa rin. Ito, path number 2. I-add natin lahat yan. Itong magkakakonect dito. Okay? O yan. I-add mo lahat yan. Ang makukuha mo dyan is 41 weeks. Ang path duration niya ni path number 2. Next, path number 3. Ganun pa rin. I-add mo lahat ng mga duration nito. 22 ang makukuha mo doon. Next, path number 4. A, C, F, G, I, J, K. 23 ang makukuha mo. So, once na kuha na natin yan, yung path duration ng bawat path natin is, ito na, the longest path, A, B, D, E, G, I, J, K, ito yun, path number 2, limits the project duration. Project cannot finish in less time than its longest path. So, di ba mapansin mo, yung second path, yan yung longest path. Yung longest path class is yan yung tinatawag nating critical path. Ibig sabihin, yan yung kumbaga hindi mo matatapos yung project ng mas mababa dyan sa 41. So kung ano yung longest path, yun yung critical path. Kasi kaya tinawag na critical path yan, uunahin na natin sabihin, is hindi ka pwedeng magkaroon ng delay dito sa activity dito sa path number 2. Kasi once nagkaroon ng delay dito sa path number 2, yung series of activity na yan, magkakaroon na ng delay sa kabuuan ng project. Okay? Normally, wala talagang slack time dyan. So, pag nagkaroon ng delay dyan, madidelay na yung buong project. Kasi yan yung tinatawag nating critical path. Okay? Next. Okay. Some networks definitions, So, first, all activities on critical path, ito yung the longest path, have zero slack. Wala talagang slack dyan. Okay? Next, slack defines how long non-critical activities can be delayed without delaying the project. Ang ibig sabihin ng slack class is, kumbaga, ang budgeted time sana is 3 months, pero expected time na matatapos is 2 months. Meron siyang 1 month na slack time. So, ibig sabihin, kahit pa ma-delay yung activity doon, since may slack naman, hindi affected yung buong project or yung time frame ng buong project. Kasi nga, may slack. Kumbaga, yan yung allowance time na andun sa activity na yun, na kung saan kahit pa 3 months ang budgeted time, pero in 2 months kayang i-complete, and then hindi na-complete in 2 months at nakarating ng 3 months pa rin, still, hindi pa rin affected ang buong project. Kasi nga, slack time yun. Or parang allowance time dun sa activity na yun. Okay? So, slack is equals to the activity late finish minus its early finish. So, halimbawa, ang late finish niya, yung tinatawag nating example, 3 months, pero ang early finish niya is kayang gawin niyan ng 2 months, may 1 month siya na slack. Or, late start minus its early start. O, pwede din yun. Slack time yun. Okay? So, earliest start, ES, is equals to the earliest finish of the immediate preceding activity. So, kung ano yung early start ng sunod na activity, yun yung earliest finish ng immediate preceding activity. Gaya kanina, yung A activity is may 4 weeks na i-complete. Yung 4 na yun is yun yung tinatawag na late finish ng preceding activity. At yun yung earliest start ng activity B. Okay? Next, earliest finish is equal to the earliest start plus the activity time. That is the earliest finish. Okay? Yung earliest start ng isang activity plus yung activity time dun sa activity na yun is equals to earliest finish ang tawag natin. Okay? Next, latest start and latest finish, LF, is the latest an activity can start, or LS, or finish LF without delaying the project completion. Okay? Next, ito na. Paano yung earliest start saka earliest finish network na yan? So, dito natin makikita yan. For example, si A or activity A, 4 weeks ang duration. Okay? Ang earliest start niya, 0, kasi ito yung base activity. Wala naman siyang preceding activity si A kasi yan yung base activity. Okay? Ang earliest finish niya is 4 weeks. Ito yung duration niya, 4 weeks. Next, punta tayo dito kay activity B. Si activity B, ang precedent niya is si activity A. Okay? Si activity B, 6 weeks daw siyang ang duration or time na ma-execute natin. Okay? Ang earliest start niya is 4. Okay? Ang 4 na yan, yun yung earliest finish ng precedent niya si activity A. Ito yun, 4. Yun yung earliest start. Okay? Ang earliest finish na activity B is yung 4 na earliest start plus yung 6 na duration niya. So, equals to 10. Yan yung earliest finish niya. Okay? Next, activity C tayo. Si activity C, 3 weeks ang duration niya. Ang earliest start niya is 4, which is yun yung earliest finish ng precedent niya, si activity A. Ang earliest finish niya is 7. Paano kinuha yung 7? Yun yung 4 plus 3. Ito yung duration niya. So, equals to 7. Okay? Next, activity D tayo. Sa activity D, ang duration niya is 6. So, yung 6 na yan, ang earliest start niya is 10, which is the earliest finish ni activity B. Ito yun, 10. Earliest finish niya, yun yung earliest start niya, 10. Ang earliest finish niya ngayon is yung 10 earliest start plus yung duration ni activity. So, 10 plus 6 equals 16. Okay? So, ganun at ganun lang gagawin mo dyan. Ganun at ganun para makompute mo yung earliest start and earliest finish. So, puro ganun lang. So, sundan mo lang yung ito. Ito yung rule natin, class. Ito kung paano i-compute yung earliest start and earliest finish. Okay? Next, yung latest start and latest finish, pabaliktad lang yan. Start ka dito. So, yung 41 weeks, yan kasi yung total time duration ng critical path natin, 41. So, ang latest finish, 41, minus naman ngayon yung time duration ng activity. So, 41 minus 2 equals to 39, the latest start. Okay? Next, dito tayo sa activity J. Sa activity J, ang latest finish niya is yun yung latest start dito, 39. Okay? So, kung ano yung latest start ng activity na to, itong activity K, yun yung latest finish ni activity J, 39. 39 minus 4, ito, activity time duration ni J, ang latest start niya is 35. Okay? So, ulitin natin, ang LS and LF ay exact opposite ni earliest start at ni earliest finish. Kung paano ang proseso nito is pa-backward naman. So, ganun lang, backward yan. So, gaya ng example dito. So, ganun at ganun lang yung gagawin mo para ma-identify mo yung LF saka LS na yan. Pabaliktad ka lang. Start ka dito, paatras. Okay? So, next, calculating slack. Ito na yun, yung slack na tinatawag. Ulitin natin ang slack, parang allowance na time yan sa bawat activity na kung saan, just in case na ma-delay yung activity doon, is hindi affected ang buong time ng activity or ng isang project. So, dito tayo, For example, activity A, ang late finish niya is 4. Ang early finish niya is 4. Slack, 0. Activity B, late finish, 10. Early finish, 10. 0 slack. Activity C, 25. Late finish, 7. Early finish. Slack, 18. Okay? So, ganun lang. I-compute mo lang yan. Late finish minus early finish equals to slack. So, ang may slack lang dito, class, is si activity C lang and activity F. The rest, including H, may 1 siyang slack. The rest, 0. Wala silang slack. So, ang pwede lang ma-delay, just in case lang ma-delay itong sa activity C, activity F, and activity H, is pwede hindi affected ang duration ng isang project. Okay? Next, revisiting yung cable bias using probabilistic time estimates naman tayo. Sa probabilistic time estimates, kumbaga dito kasi is, unlike kanina, may time na nakalaan sa isang activity. At ine-expect niya kung anong time is doon din matatapos at doon din sisimulan. But in reality class, kailangan kasi natin ng probabilistic time estimate na kung saan hindi naman lahat eksakto. Kung sinabing 2 weeks, eksaktong 2 weeks matapos. Okay? At masimulan mo agad yung isang activity. Normally yan either more than or less than dun sa nakalaan na time. Okay? Kaya kailangan natin tong probabilistic time estimates na tinatawag. Sa probabilistic time estimates, may tatlo tayong time na kino-consider. Ito yung optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic. So ano ba kasi itong tinatawag nating most likely time? Itong most likely time kasi class, ito yung time that would most frequently occur if the activity were repeated many times. Kumbaga sa isang activity class, yan yung standard time niya na kayang ma-accomplish, as if may konting aberya or sakto lang yung timing ng resources, ito yung standard time na ma-complete natin ang isang activity. Okay? Next, ano naman tong optimistic time kasi? Ang optimistic time kasi class, ito yung time that would or time that the shortest possible time within which an activity could be completed if everything went right. Halimbawa, sana perfect, no? So lahat ng resources, mga manpower, mga machines, lahat perfect, walang delay. So ito yung possible or shortest time na ma-execute or ma-complete natin ang isang activity. Ang pessimistic time naman is ito yung time or the longest possible time the activity would require the completed, assuming that everything went wrong. Halimbawa, nagkaroon ng aberya, nagkaroon ng delay sa manpower, sa mga kung anong mga klaseng resources, ito yung pinaka-possible or maximum time na ma-complete natin ang isang activity. Okay, ito yung pessimistic time. So assuming activity A may optimistic time na 2, most likely 4, and pessimistic 6. B, design manufacturing process may optimistic time na 3, most likely time 7, and pessimistic 10. Activity C, source and purchase materials, optimistic 2, most likely time is 3, and pessimistic 5. So, lahat ng yan is given yung optimistic and most likely, including pessimistic time. So, tandaan mo muna yan. Next, dito tayo, using beta probability distribution to calculate expected time duration. So, sabi niya dito, a typical beta distribution is shown below. Note that it has a definite and endpoints finishing its activity. It is a weighted average. So, di ba, tatlong time ang kino-consider natin dito sa probabilistic distribution na to. So, ito yung formula natin. Yung expected time is equals to optimistic time plus most likely time times 4 plus pessimistic time or pessimistic over 6. So, mga yung 4 at saka 6 constant. Okay, next. So, paano natin i-calculate? So, ito na, calculating the expected task time. By applying the formula, so, for example, si A, ang optimistic niya is 2. So, isub natin itong optimistic ng 2. Plus, ito, most likely niya na time is 4. Isub natin yan. 4 times 4. Itong pessimistic niya is 6. Isub natin ng 6 to. Ang total ng tatlong yan divided by 6, makuha mo 4. Okay? So, try mo sa calculator. Sa B naman, ganun pa rin. Optimistic, isub natin ng 3. Most likely, isub natin ng 7. Pessimistic, isub natin ng 10. Pag tinotal mo yan, divided by 6, 6.83. Okay? So, pag din-apply mo yung formula, gamit ito, isub mo tong mga numbers na to, makaka-arrive tayo dito sa expected time. Okay? Next. Network diagram with expected activity time. So, lahat ng na-compute natin class dito sa expected time, ilalagay natin yan dun sa tabi ng activity. So, ano ba yung activity? So, activity A, 4. Activity B, 6.83. Activity C, 3.17. So, ito yun. Ito yung mga yun. So, ilalagay natin sa tabi ng activity. So, ganyan ang maging itsura ng diagramming natin. So, ito yung mga yan yung tinatawag natin mga expected time using probabilistic distribution. Okay? So, ito yung mga connected paths natin. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, ganyan pa rin yung way. Path number 1, ito yun. A, B, D, E, G, H, J, K. Path number 2, A, B, D, E, G, I, J, K. Path number 3, ito A, C, F, G, H, J, K. And path number 4, A, C, F, G, I, J, K. So, yan yun. 4 na path. Okay? Next, estimated path durations through the network. Pag tinotal mo, class, itong path number 1, ito yun, yung way na to. Pag tinotal mo yan, yung mga time duration o mga duration in weeks dyan, makukuha mo ito. Activities on paths, path number 1, 44.66. Path number 2, 44.83. Path number 3, 23.17. And path number 4, 23.34. Okay? Okay, next. So, therefore, kung saan yung pinakamataas dyan, is siya yung tinatawag nating critical path. So, 44.83. Path number 2. Ito yung critical path natin, class. So, A, B, D, E, G, I, J, K. Ito yun, path number 2 is the expected critical path and the project has an expected duration of 44.83. So, hindi pwedeng bababa dyan yung ating expected time duration ng project kasi ito yung critical path na natin, the longest path. Okay, next. Adding ES and EF to network. O, ganun pa rin, class. Kung paano natin ginawa kanina yung earliest start and earliest finish, ganun pa rin yung paggawa natin dito. Naka-average lang kasi to or yung expected time or using probabilistic duration or distribution ang ginawa natin. But sa pag-compute ng earliest start and earliest finish, ganun pa rin. So for example, A, 4 ang duration, earliest start 0, earliest finish 4. B, 6.83 ang duration, ang earliest start niya is 4, which is the earliest finish of activity A. And yung earliest finish niya is i-add mo yan, 4 plus 6.83 is equal to 10.83. Sa activity D, ang earliest start niya is earliest finish ni B, 10.83. Ang earliest finish niya is yung earliest start 10.83 plus 6.83 kaya 17.66. Okay? Activity E, ang earliest start niya ay earliest finish ni D, 17.66. Ang earliest finish niya is 33. Paano nakuha ang 33? That is earliest start na 17.66 plus 16. So, 33.66. So, para ma-compute mo yung iba, ganun at ganun lang gagawin mo. Para ma-compute mo ang earliest start and earliest finish. Okay? I-apply mo lang yung formula. Next, using the Gantt chart. Pag i-apply natin ang Gantt chart showing its activity finish at the earliest possible start date. So, for example, activity A. Di ba sa activity A, earliest start 0, earliest finish 4. So, i-apply natin sa Gantt chart, 0 dito and 4 dito. Katapat ng 4 dito. Okay? Next, activity B. Si activity B, earliest start 4, earliest finish 10.83. Pag i-apply mo sa Gantt chart yan, ito, earliest start 4, earliest finish, ito, 10.83. Ito, andito siya sa point na to. Okay? Next, activity C. Earliest start 10.83, earliest finish 17. Activity C is earliest start 4, earliest finish 7.17. So balik ka doon sa Gantt chart. So ito na 'yon. Okay? So hanggang dito. No, ganyan lang ang paggawa ng Gantt chart. Ang basis mo is kung ano yung nakuha dito sa earliest start and earliest finish. Okay? Next, adding LS and LF to network. So, itong LS and LF to network, same principle lang to. Ito kasi is naka probabilistic distribution lang tayo, lang to, expected time mga to. Unlike kanina sa actual time ang ginamit natin kapag hindi tayo gumamit ng probabilistic distribution, no? So ang paggawa pa rin ng LS and LF, ganun pa rin, backward lang tayo. So start tayo dito, paatras. Kung ano yung latest finish dito, ito, i-deduct mo itong time na naka-allot dito sa activity, makuha mo ang latest start, which is 42. 44.83 minus 2, 42.83. Okay? Yung latest start naman ito, yun yung latest finish ng activity dito, which is 42.83. Ito yun, 42.83. Okay? Yung 42.83, i-deduct mo itong 4 na allotted time, makuha mo ang 38.83. So, pa-backward naman to. Exact opposite of ES and LS. Next, using the Gantt chart. So, again, ganun pa rin. Kung paano mo i-apply, start ka dito sa pa-backward ka, start ka dito, paatras lang. Kung ano lang yung makikita mo dito na latest start and latest finish, yun lang yung gagawin mo dito using Gantt chart. Okay, next. Estimating the probability of completion dates. So, ito yung gagawin natin ngayon, no? Using the probabilistic time estimates offer the advantage of predicting the probability of the project completion dates. We have already calculated the expected time of each activity by making 3 time estimates. So, yan yung pessimistic, optimistic, and yung most likely time. So, now we need to calculate the variance of each activity. And the variance of beta probability distribution is, ito na. The square of variance is equals to pessimistic minus optimistic squared and divided by 6, then square mo. So, yan yun, where P is the pessimistic activity, O is the optimistic activity time estimate. Okay? So, project activity variance. Paano natin i-compute tong variance? Itong mga to, by applying the formula, ito, P minus O, pessimistic minus optimistic divided by 6, then square mo, makukuha mo itong variance. So, by applying the calculator, 6 minus 2, okay? So, ito yun, pessimistic minus optimistic, 6 minus 2, pessimistic minus optimistic divided by 6, then square mo, makuha mo ang 0.44. Activity B, 10 minus 3 divided by 6. So, ito yun. Pessimistic minus optimistic divided by 6. Then, square mo, makuha mo ang 1.36. Same with C, 5 minus 2 divided by 6. Then, square, 0.25. So, by applying the formula, isubstitute mo lang tong mga number dito, pessimistic and optimistic. Then, makukuha mo itong variance value. Okay? Next. So, ito na. Sa variance of each path through the network. So, i-add mo lang lahat ng mga variance o mga dito. Kung ano yung mga activity na magkakakonekta, i-add mo lahat ng mga variance na andun sa kanila na kung anong activity ang magkakakonect. With is sundan mo to. Itong mga, for example, path number 1, ang activity na magkakakonect is A, B, D, E, G, H, J, K. Kung ano yung mga variance na nakalagay dyan, which is ito yun, reference mo to is i-add mo lahat, makukuha mo yung path variance. Ito yun. Total path variance for path number 1 is 4.82. Path variance for path number 2 is 4.96. Path variance for path number 3 is 2.24. And path variance for path number 4 is 2.38. So, ito na yun. Tinotal lang natin dyan. Next. Na, calculating the probability of completing the project in less than specified time. So, when you know, kailangan the expected completion time and its variance. So, ang i-compute natin itong si Z, the standard deviation. So, you can calculate the probability of completing the project in X weeks. Kung ilang weeks yung sasabihin with the following formula. So, ito, standard deviation is specified time minus path expected time over path standard time, or ito yung formula dt minus EFP is equals over ito sa path variance natin, square of path variance natin, where dt is the specified completion date, EF path is the expected completion time of the path, and the variance of path. Okay? So, ito na. Paano i-compute yung Z value? So, ito na yun. Example, calculating the probability of finishing the project in 48 weeks. So, assuming 48 weeks daw. Use the Z values in Appendix B to determine the probabilities. So, example, probability for Path 1 is standard deviation Z is equals to 48 weeks. Ito yun, minus 44.66 weeks divided by the square root of 4.82. Yung 4.82 is ito yun. Okay? Yung 44.66 is yun yung total duration niya. So, ito yun. Dito natin kinuha. So, ito yun. 4.66 for Path 1, 44.83 for Path 2, 23.17 for Path 3, and 23.34 for Path 4. So, kailangan natin yan dun sa computation. So, isub mo lang. Ito, 48 minus 44.66 weeks, total time duration ng project over the square root of 4.82. Ito yung path variance. Makuha mo ang 1.52 Z value or the standard deviation of 1.52. Next, path number 2, ganun pa rin, 48 weeks minus yung total duration ng project natin for path number 2 over 4.96. Dito, isub mo lang to ng 4.96, mako-compute mo ang 1.4215. O, same with path number 3 by using the formula. So, makukuha mong 16.5898 and path number 4, 15.9847. Okay? Next, reducing project completion time. So, ano yung mga reason bakit kailangan nating i-reduce yung project completion time? Bakit kailangan nating bilisan yung paggawa ng project? So, ito yun. Project completion time may need to be shortened because, so ito yun, mga different deadlines dun sa mga contracting parties, And next is penalty clauses. Lalo na class sa mga projects sa government, every day na ma-delay sila, automatic may penalty silang babayaran. So, malaking loss or malaking cost sa part ng contractor yan in every day na delay nila. Every day, every week na delay nila is malaki yung babayaran nilang penalty clauses. And of course, need to put resources on a new project. Halimbawa, may bagong project sila, is kailangan natin bilisan or kailangan bilisan yung mga kasalukuyan or existing project nila para yung mga resources like manpower, machines, and other resources maidadala na dun sa mga new project nila. And of course, promise completion dates. Kung may sa isang contract kasi, may promise completion date yan. Pag di mo nagawa dun sa promise completion date, ito ang aabutin mo. Penalty clauses. Okay? Okay, the class, that's all, and thank you.